What's up, y'all? I'm just sitting down watching the Cam Newton stuff right now. Let me show. I'm like a hour in, while I'm also like working on my book right now. Look how many pages I got so far. 333. 393, my fault. And by me sitting down and like listen to it, because I just got off the game, that's what the TV is on. Me sitting down and like listening to it, like I really want to say this. Like one of my issues of me just sitting down and it's like watching Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant having their conversations or whatever, that kind of bugged me and rubbed me the wrong way. I'm going to get on her, but I'm really want to talk about certain topics, certain aspects as I go on, right? One of the things that has bothered me is that I hate it when Christians use, hey, Christians, men or women, use, oh, hey, God's gonna send me send a person, rather than you doing a self evaluation and thinking that is this person's gonna come to you, setting yourself up, go out on dates, look for somebody, um, evaluating your standards. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate it when a individual is saying like, hey, God's gonna bring me a man, God's gonna bring me a man, and you sitting on that idea, but that's the issue. You're sitting and waiting for something to come to you rather than you putting yourself in position for you to get it. Where I'm coming with this is that like dating is a game of you should get out, literally. You can't sit in your room, watch TV, put on makeup, go out, da 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 da, and not trying to put yourself out there as much as opportunities that you can. You sitting in your house, you praying to yourself that this individual is gonna come out of nowhere like it's a Tyler Perry movie, is beyond weird and definitely absurd. Like, yeah, it can happen where you walk somewhere or you go to church and eventually you bump into an individual and, you know, okay, y'all two chit chat and then y'all start dating. You know what I'm saying? One of the aspects that I like of what Bryant is saying right now is that the difference between functional behavior and value behavior. Like you can be high value, that a lot of people on both sides of men and women of like, hey, I'm high value, I got this, and this, but you're operating in low function behavior. Where this low function behavior is when you're operating in a toxicity space of where it could be harmful to yourself and harmful to others. That's my definition of it, right? High functioning behavior is when you can operate in a healthy environment or where it can be constructive and well rounded, or where you and your partner can grow, or where you don't belittle the person that you're with and the person that you're with don't belittle you, right? It's a healthy relationship and striving to be a healthy relationship. Um, and you could be a high functioning person and it doesn't dictate of, oh, hey, how many zeros or what a sort of tax bracket you're in, right? Like that's just like where I'm coming with the whole thing. I just don't like it. And another thing that I'd be seeing floating around of the judgment between the two parties of Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant. Like I get it. Cam Newton has 8 kids and 3 different baby mamas. The last one, from what I'm hearing in my little research here and there, is that the last one is very helpful. Like all of them is helpful in some sort of aspect. Like great woman, da 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 da. Really trying to be there for Cam Newton. Cam Newton just deal with them, and once he get bored and tired, he just move on to the next person, which is bad and it's wrong by itself. But then you got Dr. Bryant, who saying that she's 41 years old, who got engaged twice by 2 different men, declined both of the engagement, and now that she is 41, now that she's at a certain age, now she's now ready to look for a certain partner. I get the idea of why people are upset with Cam Newton, because he has 8 kids, 3 different baby mamas. How can you defend such a person or think in a certain mindset of a certain aspect of an individual who has 8 kids, who has 3 different baby mamas? How can you ask for marriage when you have multiple opportunities with other people? And in the same aspect for a individual, for a female, for a woman who is 41 of age, who is has no kids, who've been proposed twice, I can get the argument between the of the two individuals. Like when I hear people's advice and where they coming from, like the advice that you need to hear from individuals, instead of trying to take their word as gospel and say, hey, um, is this person being constructive of what they arguing? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the meaning of what they trying to say? Because even though I have an issue of, okay, she's 41, I'm talking about Dr. Bryant. She's 41, she's not ready for a marriage, she's not ready for looking for a husband. I can make an argument and say, oh, how can you tell me to look for this, that, and the third when you're 41, when you have your opportunity when you was younger and you could have been get married, you could have been have kids. How can you tell me to get right at the age of 20 when you was at the age of 20 and you didn't do the advice that you said? I feel like you can still listen to advice from other people of what they did wrong and how they got certain and how they got to the certain positions of their life, so that you don't end up making the same mistake. Like you can sit there and listen to Cam Newton advice and sit there and say like, okay, he wants marriage. Like he can have, and man and woman can say have multiple kids and have multiple marriage and have multiple baby daddies or baby mamas, and still want or have the desire of want to get married. Like look at who just got divorced. Hold on. Jennifer Lopez. I forgot. Jennifer Lopez got married 5 separate times. Or 4 times. 5 times, 4 times, whatever. She's been married, and I'm pretty sure at some point she's gonna get married again to somebody else. And she probably in her heart still has the desire to want to get married. It's just that when you just gotta take it for a table of salt and like analyze and break down of, is this person argument or statement is valid to move on. Like dating and relationship is complex. It's never, people can always argue of the golden theme of what's right and wrong, like the commandments of dating. Like, okay, cheating is wrong, or disrespecting your partner is wrong. Dating, who paid for the dates, it could be up in the air. But when somebody's giving their advice and sharing what they have to say, like I said, take it for a grain of salt and go from there. Like, yeah, she might, like for Dr. Bryant, like, yeah, she might be 41 and is old, but she dropping some gems about the high function and high value, the contrast between the two. And Cam Newton, there's some pushback on him, but there's only a pushback towards her because the only thing he's making a statement is that, well, how can you tell me this when you're 41 and not married? And she's like, well, I haven't got married because I've been traumatized because of my childhood and my upbringing, which is valid. You know what I'm saying? But it's still the argument of, and a big takeaway that I got that I want to say at this last part of this 10-minute video is that you want to be in a relationship and always have the direction of, is this high functioning versus is this high value? Is this what I'm doing is a high value behavior? High functioning behavior, and the person I'm dating, are they behaving in high functioning behavior? And if they're not, what sort of actions can I do or should do if the individual ever decides to go off course and behave in a low functioning behavior? That's really the whole takeaway of this video of dating, instead of saying I am high value because I have this, and this, and I can act like a fool and throwing around my kid juice here and there and there. If that makes any sense, let me know.